I woke up from my exploratory surgery. I'm a professional dancer, obviously. And I was told it had become reconstructive surgery. And I had a 50% chance of dancing as a professional again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was going in for something that I thought was going to be minor, and in 2 weeks I'd be dancing again. And I found out I would basically not be dancing for 5 months.
Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, first question we had was just what was the driving moment that made you like create a TikTok account to begin with, you know?
Actually, I started back in Musical.ly days, and yeah, so I'm an OG, I guess. Summer of 2017, I had a pretty significant injury. I was having exploratory surgery because the doctors couldn't figure out what was going on. I woke up from my exploratory surgery. I'm a professional dancer, obviously. And I was told it had become reconstructive surgery. And I had a 50% chance of dancing as a professional again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was going in for something that I thought was going to be minor, and in 2 weeks I'd be dancing again. And I found out I would basically not be dancing for 5 months / maybe ever. So yeah, I realized I was going to go crazy if I didn't have any creative outlet for that long of a period, especially with so much uncertainty. So I downloaded Musical.ly and I started editing my own videos to put on Instagram, and I just started getting lots of views on Musical.ly, and it got me hooked. And I realized there's no ballet on this app. I never saw another professional American dancer on Musical.ly the entire time it was Musical.ly, which was almost a year after that. It's a long time. Yeah. And it was such a ripe audience. The best time to get people interested in classical arts is when they're young. Because usually if you're not exposed to ballet as a young person, you're not going to buy a ticket as an adult. So the fact that the audience was growing really fast, and it just felt like I could do something and expose them to something I really love that they might never see otherwise. It got me really invested, and I've just kept going. I never thought I would be in this space in social media. That wasn't something I'd ever considered. You know, I was a professional dancer doing my thing, living my dream. And all of this just sort of came out of a really bad experience, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. So how long were you like in the hospital, or how long were you hurt?
So my surgery, I got out of the surgery the same day, but I was not allowed, I couldn't walk for 3 months. And then I had about a month of walking, and then a month of like rehab, PT and everything. And I came back, and I've been stronger than ever since. So I had a full recovery, full success. Basically the cartilage got all shredded in one of my feet, and they did this surgery where they drill holes in your bone to try to make your body make new cartilage. Oh, wow. And it sometimes works.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So what a way to start the interview, man. Oh, we also wanted to know, like, how much of your time is spent on TikTok compared to like Instagram? Like how you mentioned earlier, you're making videos for Instagram. Now are you focused solely on TikTok for the most part? Or what's like your focus?
It's really interesting because I'd say I put more time into creating content specifically for TikTok, but I share daily things on my Instagram story because that's such a quick way to update and keep connected and get feedback from people. I love the story feature of Instagram. And then I also find I have a very different audience on Instagram, whereas on TikTok, it's some young dancers, but it's also a lot of people who wouldn't consider themselves dancers. On Instagram, it's more people who are in the professional dance, ballet dancer pipeline, because I make a lot of ballet memes as well that they can share with their friends, you know, kind of work on be a part of the ballet community, which is cool too. So it's these two different worlds and two different audiences. And I really enjoy both, actually.
So you're creating different content for both platforms?
I am. I do find some of my videos, my best videos do well on both platforms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, cool. And like, if we wanted to know if you had advice for someone like starting out, like if they were going to start a TikTok today, like what advice would you give them? Like maybe something you learned along the way?
I would say the best advice I got that I always tell people is just make content. Make everything you can think of. Even if there's that little voice that's like, this could be really terrible. It could be really terrible. Some of what you make will be terrible. And later on, you'll be like, why did I make that? That was bad. But the process of creating and going through, figuring out how you can change your ideas into a video, even if you can't really actuate it in the beginning, it's a learning process. You're going to get better. You're going to develop your voice. You're going to realize how you can change your thoughts into a visual and audio experience. That's not something you do every day. And then it lets you know what kind of content you actually enjoy creating. There are things that I thought, this will be so fun to make. And I went to make it and it was a nightmare. And just the process of making videos used to take me hours. So like I would sit and I would think about, what can I do? What kind of idea can I get from this song or this trend or whatever? And then I'd have to write down each shot carefully, and I'd take hours trying to shoot it and then a long time trying to edit because I didn't know what I was doing. Whereas now, because I've done it for so long, it's a skill you develop. Now I can do it pretty quickly. Like I can get an idea in 10 minutes and I can be shooting and be done shooting within 20. Editing, that's still a process, but for different reasons. But yeah, definitely I'd say just make content. And I think another thing that I see a lot of people who are drawn to TikTok right now focused on is that they want to be famous. And I personally don't think that's a really great way to approach creation. Maybe my perspective is just different coming from an arts background, but I just don't find that to be as effective or as fulfilling. If you're just doing something to be famous, you're going to get burnt out. Your audience is probably going to tell it's not genuine. And whereas if you come at it from, I want to make something or inspire or create, I think that TikTok audiences respond to that more, and you can grow more quickly, and you're going to have a lot more fun and longevity.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you definitely got to love what you're doing and not just do it for the fame.
It's just too much work. I think a lot of people who aren't in social media, previously myself included, you think, oh my gosh, these people are making so much money doing nothing. It is a full-time job. Like, it's a lot. Even though I'm on quarantine and I can't really do my normal job, I'm working all day, making videos, coming up with concepts, emailing, editing. It's a lot. And if you're not enjoying it, it's just not worth it. There's easier ways to make money if you don't like it.
Yeah. Well, talking about like doing all different types of stuff, one of the questions I wanted to ask you in particular was, since you're a dancer and you're a really like professional dancer, I wanted to know, what was your thought process when you decided to like edit videos and like put together these cool edits and almost like illusions, or like, I don't know what you would call them, but a lot of your videos are really cool and they like have a lot of editing in them where it's not just dancing. Where like some people, you talk to them about TikTok and they're like, oh, I can't get on there because I can't dance. But here you, who can dance, you're going above and beyond and adding stuff to the videos that has nothing to do with dance.
Well, I think part of that is, so the trending dances, the little hip hop dances are really popular right now and they're fun. And if you're coordinated, you can look really cool doing it. One of the reasons why people watch those videos and they do so well is just simply because they want to learn and recreate it. Whereas what I do is I'm a ballet dancer. Most people aren't going to be able to watch my videos and recreate ballet because there's, you need 10 plus years of training to be able to do a lot of point work. It's just not safe. So I also knew that ballet is not like hip, and I wanted to show people that ballet can be really cool. So one of my early approaches was, how can I take something that's such an old art form and sort of bring it into the present without just totally losing the foundations, the technique, the rigorous attention to detail. And so for me, that was through illusions and effects. And I've just found I really enjoy trying to figure out something other people haven't done, because all dance has been done before. Yeah. And if I can add that extra little layer, I just get a little bit more satisfaction out of it.
Your behind the scenes videos are cool too.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Appreciate that.
So we wanted to know, who is or what is the favorite account that you follow?
That's a good question. I would say I love some of the TikTok dance accounts. I'm not even sure how to pronounce some of them. There is this girl that she's 19 and she does a lot of she's obviously a very trained hip hop dancer, and she takes the TikTok dances and she kind of elevates them in the hip hop realm. And I always find those videos very inspiring. Her tag is the X Han. I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to say it, but I love her videos. A lot of my friends are creators. One of my friends, his tag is Cloud Talk. He's a musician. He actually releases original music that I've done dances to in the past, and he makes comedy videos as well. And the process, watching his videos, and just you can see the thoughtfulness that goes into it. I find that, I guess, as a creator, like being able to look through the videos and see the behind the scenes effort and process that went into it, I find that inspiring. So I love watching his content as well.
Cool.
And then, of course, Gary V's always super inspiring. Every time I watch his videos, I'm like, I gotta do more. So it's a double-edged sword, it keeps me motivated for sure.
Yeah, he does that. That's cool. So we wanted to know, like, what's your favorite filter on the TikTok app? Or like, what's your favorite like feature?
That's a good question. I like the ones where you can, especially with quarantine, I like the ones where you can clone yourself. I think it's fun when I'm making things about studio life and I'm trying to be more than one character. So rather than having to clone myself, technically, it just automatically does it. And it's kind of funny because it's all the same person. So I definitely like that effect.
Okay. And then what would you like to see TikTok add? Like if you could have them add like a new feature?
It's a good question. They've been adding so many of the things that I've been asking for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like we used to not be able to have the bio links, and there used to be no way to see people's live streams. One of the things I have thought would be cool is if there was more of a discovery page for live streams. Because right now, if you have a video that's on the For You page, maybe a new person can find your stream. And if people already follow you, they can find your stream. But they used to have separate live stream pages. So you could be streaming and talking, and you could be on there for a few hours and you could have thousands and thousands of people watching you, even if you weren't a huge creator, which I always thought was really cool. So it'd be neat if they brought something like that back. And I think it would inspire people to push their lives to another level to make more engaging live streams.
Yeah, I mean, they should do that. They probably will do that. I know they really want people to go live, so that's a good idea.
I've talked to some of them about that in the past, and they have said they're working towards things like that. So we'll see. It's a slow process, changing an app is hard.
Yeah, especially one that is so popular.
Yes, I do not envy the coders at all.
For real. Do you ever dive deep into a hashtag? And if so, like which hashtag as of late got you to dive deep into it?
Well, obviously lately with all the rioting and the protesting, I've really been going down a lot of rabbit holes with Black Lives Matter and just the protests in general. And there's a lot of power in being able to see what's happening all around the country, even if you're not there, and hear so many different voices. Under the same hashtag, you'll find people with completely oppositional views. And I think usually I feel that the views, getting to see so many different ideas, it helps me form a better rounded opinion of what's happening and what we can do going forward. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really important one, especially right now.
For sure.
We wanted to ask, have you ever discovered new music on TikTok? Do you use TikTok to discover music at all?
Yeah. The funny thing is, I'll hear a TikTok song over and over and over again, and then hear it on the radio and not even realize it's the same song, but I'll know that 15 to 30 seconds so well. And yeah, there's many times that I've heard a song that I just thought was so great. Like this song Lemons by Brie or Bry, I'm not sure how to say it. I actually made a video to that because I thought it was such a great song. And then I listened to it on repeat on Spotify so many times. My husband was like, okay, we're done with that song. But it definitely, I mean, TikTok influences the culture. It drives dance forward and it drives music forward in such a powerful way.
Definitely. If you could pick anyone to do a TikTok collaboration with, who would it be?
Ooh. Such a good question. You know, actually, I probably would pick Isabella Boylston. She's a principal dancer with ABT, and she recently started really making TikToks. And she's a big creator on Instagram, and she's been really moving and grooving in the TikTok space. As fellow dancers and a fan of her, I would, of course, love to do that.
Cool. Then we wanted to ask you, what is your like family, parents, like what do people around you think about TikTok?
Actually, my family's been very supportive from the beginning. My friends in the ballet community, it's been a little bit different, especially when I first started and it was Musical.ly. Some of them were very supportive and some of them just didn't get it. I think because we are so rooted in tradition and in the past that sometimes taking it forward into a more technological and quick form, some people are uncomfortable with that. But now that TikTok has become a lot more mainstream, obviously many people that weren't so sure about it now have their own accounts. So as TikTok becomes mainstream, it's just changing. Yeah,
that makes sense for sure. So then we just have some rapid fire questions, just yes or no type things. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
What's your favorite cereal?
Ooh, Lucky Charms.
Buying online or in person?
It depends on what it is. If it's a book, I want to buy it at the store. If it's electronics and things like that, definitely online is easier.
Yeah. Do you play video games?
I do.
What game is your favorite?
I'm actually the leader in the world on a game on my VR. But before you're impressed, it's a very silly game. It's a time management cooking game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I love that. And I love my Vive, and VR is definitely my favorite.
What do you cook?
It's in the game.
Yeah.
It's like it's a Japanese restaurant. It's called Counter-Strike, but it's not the kind you think of. It's like Counter-Strike, not like the first-person shooter game.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Okay, it's fun.
Sports or like movies and TV?
Depends on the sport. If it's gymnastics or ice skating or anything somewhat related to dance, I'm going to say sports. But other than that, movies and TV.
Okay, last one. Favorite cartoon character?
Oh. Maybe Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Very cool. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. That's everything.
Well, thank you so much. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. This was fun. We're gonna write a whole story on the website and put this on YouTube and like create micro content. Like we're gonna create a lot with this. And like I said before, Gary sends his love. So where are you located?
Well, appreciate that. I'm in Oklahoma City because I moved here to dance with the company here.
Okay. Well, if you ever come to New York, let us know.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Stop by the office, meet Gary and stuff.
Yeah, that would be great. It was really fun talking to him for a few minutes last week.
Cool. All right, well, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good. Bye.
All right, bye.